Owls, and welcome back to another episode of Hoot and Holler, your go-to podcast for all things Florida Atlantic University. I'm Amari.
And I'm Oriana, and we are your hosts for today. And today's episode is all about Florida Atlantic 101, what every new student needs to know on campus. So whether you're a first year transfer student, need a refresher, we've got you covered with all essential resources to help you succeed at Florida Atlantic University.
That's right. From academic advising to campus safety and health services, we're breaking down the must-know information to make sure you start your Florida Atlantic journey on the right foot. We're going to be starting this conversation with very special guests, our mentor orientation leaders, Kim and Morgan, who are going to introduce themselves in just a bit. Kim and Morgan, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me again. My name's Cameron, and alongside being a mentor orientation leader, I'm majoring in exercise science and health promotion, and I'm also the president of our Student Alumni Association.
Hi everyone, I'm Morgan. I'm a sophomore neuroscience major, and I'm also a mentor orientation leader. And for those of you who don't know what a mentor orientation leader is, we essentially mentor our new set of OLs just to help them get ready for the orientation season.
Great. Now let's get into some of the top resources every Florida Atlantic student needs to know.
All right. First up, we have academic advising. So one of the biggest questions new students have is, where do I go for help for picking classes? So can you guys tell us a little bit more about Florida Atlantic's academic advising services and kind of why they're important for students?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the time that our students are first picking Florida Atlantic to be their home, they have things such as easy advising, which make the process as easy as possible. But a high recommendation that I have for all of our incoming first time in college students would definitely be to stop by our Office of Admissions just to make sure they have all of their credits coming in with them, all of their tests from potential high school classes, all ironed out. Then they meet with an advisor when they get on campus. That'll be the best way for them to be set going into their first semester.
And then for any of our pre-health students, there are specific advisors just for them in the College of Science.
Oh, nice. And what's one piece of advice that you give a first year student about managing their class schedule?
Ooh, I always say make sure you have it like at least one day off without any classes, just to give yourself kind of a break in between days.
That's true, yeah.
And then for me, I would definitely say that coming into college is definitely big on time management because there's not going to be a professor knocking at your door telling you to show up for class. But definitely what works for you as a student is probably going to be individualized. So some students like their morning classes, others like night classes, and it's all up to preference.
All right. Well, I'm sure you both know already that academic advising is a huge resource for students on campus. How often do you think students should meet with their new advisor, and what should they come prepared with already for these meetings?
I always say maybe once a semester, just so you know what to take your next semester and you're always prepared, and so you're making sure you graduate on time.
And then one of the better things and resources that you can bring with you is all of our programs have individualized flight plans that can help guide you into what classes you need to be taking just to remain on track.
So we all know Florida Atlantic has a lot of academic support services. What are some hidden gems like tutoring centers, writing labs that students should take advantage of?
Well, one of my favorite places to go, being in our College of Science, is definitely our Science Learning Center. It is a little bit of a walk, but no need because it's definitely one of the best on campus. And with students helping students, they definitely make it easy to understand. And they're all students that do get A's and B's in their classes, so the best way to learn for me.
I would say our Math Learning Center is on the second floor of our breezeway, and even if I'm not struggling in the particular course, just to get a good refresher, they help with any math class that we have on campus. It's really helpful.
I think that we can all agree that time management is key to balancing classes and campus life. So what are your top time management tips for new students coming into Florida Atlantic?
Well, I have my Google Calendar. It's color-coded and everything from my job to classes. And if it's not on there, I won't be there.
Similar to Morgan, I also have calendars because I'm a little all over the place. I have a planner, paper calendar on my desk, and then I have some online calendar just to help me with all of my organizations. And again, if it's not on my calendar, I'm probably not showing up.
Nice. Do you have cute little planners? Like I used to get the ones with like stickers.
No,
No.
my planner's just gray.
Oh,
Just gray.
how nice.
Mhm.
Anyways.
Fun.
And what other safety tips would you give like new students, especially those living on campus?
I would say always try your best to go in pairs or go in groups. Don't go walking by yourself out at night.
I think that's probably the biggest one, just making sure whether it's a roommate or a close friend you meet, just having someone that you can always go reach out to.
Florida Atlantic offers great resources, like the Student Health Services Office and Owls Care Program. So can you guys just share like what other services are available for students who might need medical care on campus?
So we have our student health services on the second floor of Breezeway as well, which just if you need a quick checkup or maybe you're feeling a little under the weather, you're more than welcome to go in there.
And for me, one of my favorite places to go is definitely our Owls Care Health Promotion Office. They give you all little grab and go items. So for me, always making sure I eat 3 meals a day. If I don't, then I can always grab a little snack from them.
Okay. So is that like a tip you give like mentally, like physically, mentally, a tip you would give to students for like their physical and mental well-being?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think one of the biggest things that some students might overlook is that without eating meals during the day, if you're hungry in class and you can't focus, and then it makes not for a good learning environment. So definitely always eat 3 meals a day.
Nice. I think that is important to know today.
That's really great advice.
Yeah.
Next question. What is one resource that every Florida Atlantic student should know about, but many don't?
Ooh, I would say so. Recently, CAPS just got these new massage chairs in their office, and they are so relaxing. I think that's something not every student really has heard about recently.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
And then as students, just staying on top of studies. For me, one place I go with all of my closest friends, if we're trying to study for a test, whether it's just review, is definitely the study room in our library, which we can reserve for our individual study session.
And so you guys like kind of touched on CAPS, but can you go like more in depth about like how these services really help students and why they're important?
And for those who don't know, listening or watching, what does CAPS stand for?
So CAPS stands for Counseling and Psychological Services. So they're kind of there if you're maybe feeling down or you're a little lonely or just need someone to talk to. They're a great resource that you always have someone in your corner and someone who will just hear you out and listen to you and provide ways to maybe go about fixing or go about working out your issues.
And one of my favorite parts about CAPS was my first year on campus, getting adjusted to campus living and the college rigors, was definitely having a CAPS advisor in our residence hall that would talk us through simple things that some people might overlook, like getting a bad grade on a test or forgetting to go to class. And so things like that definitely help destigmatize going to CAPS and having that psychological service.
Many students struggle with making connections at first when they come to Florida Atlantic. What advice do you have for someone looking to make friends or get involved on campus?
I would say a great way to get involved or just to make friends is going to the sporting events. Like there's just so many people who are so friendly out there and just want to get to know other people as well, just like you do. And sporting events is a great way for a bunch of the campus comes just enjoy this.
Interesting. And you're also a mentor orientation leader. And would you also say like maybe in the orientation, being an orientation leader is how you got involved and made a lot of friends?
So when I first came to campus, I wasn't really involved, didn't know how to get involved, and I decided to apply to be an orientation leader. And when I did, like that's what opened up me like going to basketball games, going to different events on campus. So that was really helpful.
Nice.
And then for students transferring or from high school or other backgrounds, I would definitely say all of our different student organizations on campus are a really nice way to remain connected. It kind of gives an opportunity to make a small community within a larger one. So definitely find your people, I would say, and then once you find them, you can stick with them all the way through.
So we're going to move on to a new topic. More like financial and career resources. So Managing money in college can be tough. What are some budgeting or financial aid tips that helped you as a student?
So for me as a student, budgeting coming to college, I knew that I would come in with some scholarship, but some of it's going to come out of pocket, and that's realistic for many of our students. But I would definitely say that even if you have to pay for college, and you say you come without a car, you can find jobs on campus that definitely can align with your passion and your drive for school, while also getting that monetary value that can help you pay for college and help you save for the next thing.
Nice.
Okay. And then Florida Atlantic has career services to help with job searches, internships, things like that. How can students really take advantage of like these services early on in their college journey?
So I will say I came into college with no idea how to build a resume or how to format my resume so that it gets to an employer's desk. And I made an appointment with the Career Center, and they were able to fix my resume up with one appointment. And that way I ended up getting a job using that new resume, which was really helpful.
You say the Career Center? Didn't they have a career fair today? Can someone touch on that? Like, what is a career fair and how helpful that is to like a student?
Yeah, absolutely. So the career fairs, for those who might not know, are where it allows for our student body to connect with employers that are either looking for candidates looking for jobs, internships, all of the above. And it's a great way just to get connected and learn how to professionally network and market yourself as a student going into the job force.
Nice. All right. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick little lightning round for final advice for new students. So for you all, what is one Florida Atlantic event or tradition that every new student just has to experience?
I say First Saturday in Paradise. This last year we had a drone show, which in my opinion was amazing. Just could not look away from it.
And then for me, without a doubt, definitely Bonfire Music Fest. At the start of every football season, we always have a musical artist come perform free of charge for all of our students. And that's a great way as a community to just get connected and then learn that we are a community at the end of the day.
Okay, and if you could give one golden tip to incoming Florida Atlantic students, what would it be?
If I had to pick one golden tip.
Yeah, one golden tip.
All right.
Has to be golden.
Of course. Well, to all of those watching, my golden tip to you, no matter what background you come from, your goals and aspirations, whatever you do here, don't step on the Florida Atlantic seal. Thanks. Yeah, that's definitely my golden tip. Yeah.
That's a nice golden tip.
Yes.
Thank you. Very serious. As you can see, that was a very serious tip. Take it serious. Take it serious.
I didn't think this.
You can agree with Cam's golden tip, really, if you feel like it's an important golden tip.
Wait.
I think it's the most important tip to give to this kid.
I 100% agree with Cam. So I think that's number one thing every new student should know.
Awesome. All right, such great advice. Thank you both for joining us today and sharing your wisdom with our new owls.
And for those of you listening, if you have any questions about today's topics, be sure to check out Florida Atlantic student resources at www.fau.edu or reach out to us on our Instagram at New Student Transitions.
All right, that's a wrap for our episode of
Hoot and Holler.
Thank you, Cam.
Of course.
Make sure to subscribe and tune in next time for more tips, stories, and behind the scenes moments for FAU orientation.
Until then, stay safe, stay engaged, and as always,
Go Owls!